Today we are going to discuss the Lynne and Lynd coat of arms. But before we get started, we wanted to let you know that we offer genealogy research service at our website. Please visit us at coadb.com. First coat of arms to discuss is blazoned a fess, between in chief, half, a pale, between a crescent above a mullet and dexter chief, and a lion and sinister chief, and in base, a lion. It's a rather awkward blazon. This was the coat of arms of John Lynne, alive in the year 1250, son of Gilbert of Lynn. Argent, a cross engrailed Gules for Lynne or Lynde of Lyne in Cranleigh in County Surrey. This was for Sir Walter de la Lynde of Sussex, who was alive in the year 1310, and for John de la Lynde. Here we have per chevron, sable, and argent, 3 griffins' heads erased counterchanged, each charged with the crescent, for Thomas Lynne, found in a heraldic document dated around the year 1460. Gules, a demi-lion rampant argent within a border sable Byzanti, for Lynne of Bassingbourne in County Cambridgeshire and of Exeter in Devonshire. John Lynne and Philip Lynne, sons of Thomas Lynne, who died in 1549, son of Richard Lynne, all of Bassingbourne. John had sons William Lynne of Gray's Inn, Henry Lynne, Edward, Francis, and John Lynne, who was the mayor of Exeter. And Edward had sons Marmaduke Lynne of Dublin, Augustine Lynne of London, who was a saddler, and John Lynne. We have a similar coat of arms with Crest, a lion's head erased argent. It was borne by William Lynne, Esquire of Parliament Street in Westminster and of Clapham in County Surrey, a surgeon, alive in the year 1825. Another for Lynne of Southwick Hall in County Northamptonshire, descended from John Lynne of London in Southwick Hall, who died in 1487, who was the son of William Lynne of London, who was the son of William Lynne, a grocer of London, who came from Bedfordshire. And he had son William Lynne, who had son Guy, who had son George, who had son George, who had son George, who had son John Lynne, who died in 1693. Later, there was Walter Lynne, a physician and inventor of a fire engine, as well as George Lynne, an astronomer and an antiquary. And here we see the family estate of Southwick Hall. Similar coat of arms with the crest, a bit different, for Lynne of Woodbridge in County Suffolk. Thomas Lynne, born 1774, was an English naval officer and a writer on astronomy, one of at least 2 sons of James Lynne, a medical practitioner. Gules, 3 bucks' heads, couped argent, for John de la Lynde, found in a document dated around the year 1500. Another for Lynne of Chichester and Ringwood in County Hampshire, granted in 1555 to Richard Lynne of Ringwood, Justice of the Peace, who had son John Lynne, who had son Richard Lynne, who had son Richard Lynne. Another, we have argent, a chevron between 3 roses Gules, crest, a griffin's head erased sable, for 2 different branches of the family in County Cornwall, Lynne of Liskeard and Lynne of St. Teith. And it looks like there was John Lynne, who had son John, born 1662, who had son Richard, who had son John Lynne, born 1723, who was rector of St. Ive in Cornwall. And then Philip Lynne, town clerk of St. Teith, had son John Lynne of Badennan, who was also town clerk, who had son Philip Lynne, who was a vicar of Mevagissey, who had son Philip Lynne of Sufferton Manor in Torfey. Azure, 3 crosses crosslet fitchy and fess between as many eagles as played or. Crest, a squirrel sagent proper supporting a crosslet fitchy Gules for Lynne of Yorkshire. Another coat of arms for Lynnes of Tuley Park in County Leicestershire, Reverend John Lynne of Tuley Park in Hatton, born 1782. And it looks like he was a descendant of John Lynne, Esquire of Kirkby Mallar, and heir of Corley, who was the individual who was granted the coat of arms. Also by the Lynnes of Hatton in Warwickshire, Colonel Samuel Parr Lynne, Esquire, born 1838. Son of Reverend John Lynne, a justice of the peace for Northampton and incumbent of Hatton. And also Lynnes of Sandysford House, Reverend John Lynne of Sandysford House in White Regis in County Dorset, born 1821, the son of Thomas Lynne. Another we weren't able to find the shield or escutcheon for, but the crest is an elephant's head erased purpur for Lynnes. Or a bend or bendlet gules, a chief checky argent and azure for the de Lynne or de Lyne family of Lincolnshire. This belonged to Sir Daniel de Lynne, a Flemish refugee, died in 1658, descended from an old Belgian noble family, purchased the manor of Harlexton, was later knighted and served as High Sheriff of Lincolnshire. And here we see the manor of Harlexton. Sable, a pelican in her nest, Argent, for Lynde of Dorset. And I have some possibilities here, including Thomas de Lynne, born 1439, son of John de Lynne of Winterbourne. There was a John de Lynne who held the manor of Swir, and a Galfred de Lynne who held the manor of Fordington. Gules in chief, 3 gold mallets erect gules. This belonged to Enoch Lynde, born around the year 1586, the father of Simon Lynde, who moved from London to Boston, Massachusetts. And they descended from Nathaniel Lynne of Bedfordshire, who was the son of Andrew Lynne, who died in 1516. Next is Argent 2 bars sable, a bend gules for Lynde. And I have here one possibility is Sir Humphrey Lynne, born 1579, an English lay Puritan controversialist and politician who sat as a member of the House of Commons. Although to me this looks like it would be somewhat older than the 15 and 1600s. And another for Lynde of Georgie in County Edinburgh, Scotland, and of the Isle of Wight in England. There was Sir James Lynde, born 1752, an officer in the Royal Navy who served during the American Revolution and the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. He was the son of James Lynde, seen here, a distinguished naval physician, who was son of Alexander Lynde, who was son of George Lynde, the first of Gorgie, Chief Magistrate of Edinburgh, the son of John Lynde, a descendant of James Lynde. Later, and it looks like he descended from the Lynnes of Ayrshire in Scotland. And George had 2 other sons as well, George Lynde, Member of Parliament and Lord Provost of Edinburgh, and Colonel John Lynde, who had son Major General John Lynde. And lastly, we have the coat of arms of John Lynde, born 1737, an English barrister, politician, and pamphleteer who opposed the American Revolution. He was tutor to the King of Poland, who made him privy councillor, the son of Reverend Charles Lynde, Doctor of Divinity, Vicar of West Mercia, Rector of Wivenhoe, and Rector of Paglesham, all in County Essex. And if you enjoyed this video, please visit us at coatb.com, where we offer genealogy research service, link in the description. Thank you very much.